Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. These are the most recent NBA standings updates, as well as the NBA game schedule for tomorrow. For the game result for today, the New York Knicks get their 9-game winning streak after completing their comeback win from a 15-point deficit over Indiana Pacers with score 109-105, and Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo as the top scorers for New York Knicks with 40 and 20 points. The Los Angeles Lakers ended their 2-game losing streak after taking down the Boston Celtics with a score of 114-105. And the leading in scoring for Lakers as Austin Reeves drops 32 points and D'Angelo Russell made a double-double performance of 16 points with 14 assists. The Cleveland Cavaliers notched their 4th straight win after beating the Memphis Grizzlies with a score of 108-101, and the leading in scorers for Cavaliers as Donovan Mitchell and Caris LeVert had 25 and 16 points. In the last game, Philadelphia 76ers ended their 4-game losing streak after holding off the Utah Jazz with a score of 127-124. And the top scorer for Philadelphia is Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, who had 51 and 28 points. And here are the Eastern Conference standings updates. The number 15 in standings is Detroit Pistons had 6 wins and 41 losses. The number 14 in standings is Washington Wizards had 9 wins and 38 losses. The number 13 in standings is Charlotte Hornets with a record of 10 wins and 36 losses. The number 12 in standings is Toronto Raptors had 17 wins and 30 losses. The number 11 in standings is Brooklyn Nets had 19 wins and 28 losses. The number 10 in standings is Atlanta Hawks had 20 wins and 27 losses. The number 9 is Chicago Bulls had 23 wins and 26 losses. The number 8 and the number 7 in standings is Orlando Magic and Miami Heat, both had a record of 25 wins and 23 losses. The number 6 in standings is Indiana Pacers had 27 wins and 22 losses. The number 5 is Philadelphia 76ers had 30 wins and 17 losses. The number 4 is Cleveland Cavaliers had 30 wins and 16 losses. The number 3 in standings is New York Knicks had 32 wins and 17 losses. The number 2 is Milwaukee Bucks had 32 wins and 16 losses. And the number 1 is Boston Celtics with a record of 37 wins and 12 losses. In the Western Conference standings updates, number 15 in the standings is San Antonio Spurs had 10 wins and 38 losses. The number 14 is Portland Trail Blazers had 15 wins and 33 losses. The number 13 is Memphis Grizzlies had 18 wins and 30 losses. The number 12 is Golden State Warriors had 20 wins and 24 losses. The number 11 is Houston Rockets had 22 wins and 25 losses. The number 10 in standings is Utah Jazz had 24 wins and 26 losses. The number 9 is Los Angeles Lakers had 25 wins and 25 losses. The number 8 is Dallas Mavericks had 26 wins and 22 losses. The number 7 in standings is New Orleans Pelicans had 27 wins and 21 losses. The number 6 in standings is Phoenix Suns had 28 wins and 20 losses. The number 5 in standings is Sacramento Kings had 27 wins and 19 losses. The number 4 in standings is Denver Nuggets had 33 wins and 16 losses. The number 3 is LA Clippers had 31 wins and 15 losses. The number 2 is Oklahoma City Thunder had 33 wins and 15 losses. And the number 1 in Western Conference standings is Minnesota Timberwolves had 34 wins and 14 losses. And here are the game schedule for tomorrow, Saturday morning, PH time. At 8 a.m. had 2-game schedule, Washington Wizards vs Miami Heat and Detroit Pistons vs LA Clippers. At 8:30 a.m. had 2-game schedule, Indiana Pacers vs Sacramento Kings and Atlanta Hawks vs Phoenix Suns. At 9 a.m. had 5-game schedule, Minnesota Timberwolves vs Orlando Magic, Oklahoma City Thunder vs Charlotte Hornets, San Antonio Spurs vs New Orleans Pelicans, Houston Rockets vs Toronto Raptors, and the Memphis Grizzlies vs Golden State Warriors. In the last game, Denver Nuggets vs Portland Trail Blazers at 10 a.m.